everyone, it's Zadira and I'm here with a special surprise today. I want to show you a little house that I built on the new island of Ark Survival Ascended. I am loving these building structures and I wanted to share and talk a little bit about it. I'll show you a little bit where we are. We're on this part right in here on the far west coast, right up from that little peninsula. I'll show you on my map. Oh, it's kind of, that's interesting. I've never seen that. But see where my green arrow is as I try to get that to where you can see better. See, I haven't even finished the whole map yet. I haven't even explored all up in there. So I'm on the far west edge, right up above the top of that peninsula. And I love this little place. When we were on official 374 on Evolved, a guy had a base here, and so I've always loved it. As far as it's fairly safe. You have this cliff up in here, then you have the water on this side with the big giant rocks, so there's not a lot of danger. There are every rare raptor, and then delos. There'll be some delos come through, but that's about it. I mean, it's really safe. And then a pegomastix, I saw him peeking out of around those rocks a while ago. So, and look at the grass. Oh my gosh, guys, you do get a lot of fiber though. So anyway, this is a house. I've built this so many times. I love this floor plan, and I wanted to see how it would work in Ascended and Survival Ascended. So I just been working and I just love it. I absolutely love it. And I wanted to give you a tour. Now I'm also playing, actually I'm going to mainly play on an official server that our friend Quan has invited us to play on. And I have my base in this exact spot on his server. And I'm going to be building this house as I stream live play as I go along and explore. Oh, I forgot to do that. See, I'm going to find out forgot to do things as we go because there was a lot to this. Oh my gosh, I have to show you a little bit about the painting. But this is my sidewalk. I wish I'd have finished painting it. It wouldn't look so bad. But I didn't end up painting the whole entire sidewalk. But see, you can make a sidewalk now. Isn't that interesting? I guess I should maybe show you how I did it. I'll show you when I do the one that I'm doing on Quan's server. If you want to join that server, you'll have to get to know us a little bit, join our Discord, and get permission from Quan on our Discord. And so we're very picky on that server. We want to be family friendly. Anyway, so let me show you. I wonder if I can remember how I did this to show you. I know I can remember how I did it. I'm going to go ahead and pick these up real quick. And I'm going to be showing you on his server, but I might as well show you. Give a little bit of a peek because this is kind of interesting. This is different. We've never been able to do this before, I don't think. Maybe we could, but I've never been able to make a sidewalk before. So let's see if I can remember how I did it. So what I did was I put stairs here. Let's see. Pick up that stone foundation and then pick up these stone foundations. Wait, why won't it let me? Why is it not letting me? Remove all of this. Things need, it needs repaired. A D-Lo came over here and I had to get that D-Lo and I bet I hit these things. So I think I can show you here. So what you do is, let's get my UI on so I can see what I'm doing. So you have your normal foundation right there, right? And I put stairs there, but I didn't even need to put stairs. But the reason I even started trying to figure out how to do it, look at that grass. I was like, oh my gosh, and I couldn't pick it. I couldn't make it go away. Yeah, there's all kinds of, I think things need to be repaired right here. Yeah, I see that. Anyway, I was like, I can't have this grass looking like this right at my doorstep. So I was trying to figure out if there was a way that I could put a foundation, and it was a pain to figure it out. See, it kept snapping. So what I did was I kind of got it centered. Okay, I'll show you over here because that's just going to be a pain. I got it kind of centered where I wanted because it's there's two foundations right here. So I wanted the sidewalk right between, in the center of those two. So I kind of positioned myself like this where I could see the middle of the two foundations. And then I walked like this until it just stopped. And then you can see I need to move over just a tiny bit. And then once you click this once with your left mouse, you can lower it down. You pull your mouse toward you, and you can turn it and twist it. And I pulled it down as far as I could because it still is up. See, it bounces up even though I had it far. And look at that grass. Now can I pick any of that? Nope. See? And it goes away as you add more foundations. So what I did was I went ahead, see, that's the one I put like that. And so then I put another one, and the grass goes away. Is it? Well, kinda. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. That's probably my settings. But it does help. I mean, look at that mess. Isn't that awful? And then once you get it down as far as you can in the ground, you can go as far with your path. Wow, that is so cool how that grass does. You can go down as far as like I could go all the way down and make a path all the way down to the ocean now. Isn't that fun? Oh my gosh, I love it. Now I have to repaint those. I think Steffi helped me with the coloring, and I think I don't want to say, we got so confused. We tried every pale yellow, we tried every reddish color, we tried the terracotta, everything. You just have to experiment. That's all I can say. We probably tried almost every color that's available because they gave us so many amazing colors now. So I wish it was a little bit brighter, and hopefully as the sun is going to set in the west, so maybe it'll get brighter out here and I can show you out here. But this is it, the house. And there is an episode where I did a step-by-step how to build this house on Evolved, and it really isn't that different. A little bit, but not too much. But when you come in, this is big, huge area. This is huge enough for a big team of, if you have a big base of tribe members, or it's a huge area to put all kinds of storage and decorate. Wow, who else? Raise your hand. Don't you wish we had more decorations? In fact, I couldn't even find the shag rug, guys. I can see I missed a bunch of painting on my floor. It's so dark in here. The reason it's dark in here, let me show you this. I actually posted this on Discord or in the official forum somewhere. Look, it will not let me place a torch on this wall. It says can't place wall torch, no ground or snap point. It won't let me on this wall, it won't let me on this wall, it won't let me here, and it won't let me here. It did let me there, but I'm not sure why. And it lets me on this side. So, you know what, I just had a realization. There's foundations on both sides of these walls. I bet that's what it is. But there is out here though. I'm going to give you some, see, there's a foundation out there. But it won't let me place it. It says, no, so that's why it's dark. That's why I wanted to show you that. Okay, so this is the big main room, and lots of place for all kinds of storage and furniture and just fun things to do with this big place. You can divide it up into smaller rooms. And then this is my room where I have, oh my gosh, I can see so many places I didn't paint. It was so dark in here I couldn't see. I have my forge in here and my smithy, just some little odds and ends. It's a little workshop area. And if I had some of the mods that we had in Evolved, I'd have a kitchen set up, a living room set up, a dining room set up. We will eventually. I'm already excited. I've put the reusable mods on my server. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm excited to have that. And then I have a little back porch back here where people can sit out and have a visit. And I have the cooking pot, because this is how you make the dyes. And I'll show you. My gosh, it's amazing. And if you have a hard time finding your dyes, they're under cosmetics. I had a hard time. I went and looked in every box. I thought I must have put my dyes in a box. And these are all the colors. And it's really amazing. All the different, here's all the different blues, all the azures, so the all kind of bluish colors. And then browns, chartreuse, cyan, fuchsias, greens, grayscale, magenta. Look at all the pinks. Orange and red. Look at the pretty, but the names of the reds, like that's gore, and that's scab. But look at that pink. That looks like a pretty pink, and that's a salmon. I bet that's a pretty pink. Anyway, you have to have canteens or some kind of water skin. Being in single player, I can go crazy and do fancy things. I probably would normally have skins. And I put a box out here. Let me show you the water system now. The water system is very different. And how I did it was, you have to first attach your intake pipe, just like we had an intake pipe. Oh, y'all, look, I've got a Rex. I made the mistake of I killed the baby's mom, and the poor little baby was out by itself, so I'm like, oh, I've got to tame you now. So you just go up, if you kill the parent of the baby, you can go up and just claim the baby. And then I had to bring it home, and that was the bad part. So this was the easy place to get water, but it wasn't far enough. So you need as close as you can to water, but you don't have to be right next to water. Here, I'll go into, let me show you. This was the closest water, and here's my intake pipe. But normally we would never have done this because we'd have had pipes running everywhere. You press and you can look into inventory, but there's a house here, and that will show the range that this water intake covers. Let me show you. There's the range. It's pretty big. It's a pretty large range. So anywhere you have that intake, then you can place a water tank. So I went and I looked at the range, and I placed a water tank. Where is the water tank? There it is. Oh, that's interesting. It's not quite in the range. That's interesting, but you can see I can drink water out of it. So it is. And then you place this one, and it'll show its range. Yeah, see? And then I place this one, and it shows its range. So now I can place those anywhere to have water. And as soon as I placed that reservoir down, my water tap started running. So that's how the water works right now. Let's take those all off. They're so annoying. So it's very different, and it's similar to how the pipes work too for the electrical, or wires work for the, I wonder, I must have put a tank. That's interesting that tank ended up being big enough, close enough. So anyway, that's how I did my water. And if people leave those blue domes on, man, it's going to be crazy. So that's how the water works, and you have to have water in the cooking pots unless you have a mod. But see, my tap started running as soon as I placed this reservoir down over here. So that's how the water works. I haven't seen anybody else show that, so I wanted to be sure and show that. And then you go, you go upstairs, and there's a huge second story. It's big enough that you could make a loft up above. This is my little desk area where we're all deciding where we're going to raid the next base, because we have our map there and an extra storage there. And then you have your beds, and so you can see you could have a huge layout of beds for people here. I mean, there's tons of space, and a lot of times I'll wall these areas off and have separate bedrooms, and that's kind of fun. And then one thing that's been so super fun to have since we've discovered Ascended is this secret door. Isn't that awesome? And you can go in, and this is where I have my generator, and you don't even know you have it. Isn't that awesome? And I have the secret stash. This is where all the expensive, important stuff is, but it's empty. So you look at that. Isn't that just the coolest thing you ever saw? I mean, you'd never know there was a secret little area back there. And I think that's probably fun in PvP, but I think the PvP people will know about it for so quickly that that won't last long. They'll be able to find those, I think. I wonder though, I mean, if you have your UI on, if you walk up to other people's things, you see it, don't you? I can't remember. So, I don't know. Yeah, I think you do. I think you see other people's stuff. But then there's a little deck out here where we can watch the ocean and sit out in our nice chairs and just enjoy the sea breeze. And oh my goodness, it's so amazing. I just love this spot. This is a really good spot. And there's plenty of space. Yeah, you saw my Rex back there. I had to go get a bunch of berries, and I didn't want to spawn them in, but I wanted a ton of berries. So I had to go over to the redwoods in creative mode, so I wasn't worried about being scared. And I found these bears. Now my settings are super low. Well, they're normal settings on single player, so the animals are low. So when I found a 90, and then I found a 90 and 100. I think Smokey was 100 and Honey was a 90. I went ahead and tamed those up, and they're my berry getters. Oh my gosh, and fiber. They get fiber like crazy. And one's a male and one's a female, so I can have baby bears. So now my next job would be, my next project will be, I can put a huge barn right here. This goes all the way back. Rex, that was very rude. So you can go all the way back here, pretty far. My barn that I build is 8 wide, and the house is 6 wide. So you can see if it, well, actually it's 9 wide, 8 wide. And my barn is going to be 8 wide. And there's more room back here than up there. So I can make a big, giant red barn. And I also have a video on how to build a red barn. I'm curious how it's going to work. It should work the very same way. These structures are taller. It's almost like they added the half wall to a wall. So it's almost like they're, if you look, you can kind of see where that wall goes. It's a wall and a half, I think. But I think the foundations are the same size. So you have to be careful about that if you have a certain building you're trying to build. So I'm going to be curious to try to see what it's like to build my red barn. I've built it several times on lots of different places. Let's go see if the sun is shining on the front of the house. Let's see if you can see it any better. Oh yeah, let's get up in our fancy creative mode. And so far, oh, my sidewalk looks terrible. So far, people are really fussing about the greenhouse windows. I didn't see the old-timey wooden ones that you get with the stone walls. Or I guess I can't remember. I think they did have, maybe these are like that. Anyway, I didn't see any other windows besides these, and I don't like them either. It's weird. See that kind of greenish, the glass is like reflecting color off of the leaves of the trees, I think. But it looks terrible, just terrible. We need better windows. Even if they gave us just a crossbar of wood, you know, to make it look like there were panes of glass in it, that would be better than these things. I would much rather have that. But other than that, oh, and I wanted to show you this really quick. I'm so glad I remembered. I was about to forget. Oh, I missed that paint. I missed that paint. So, they did not give us valleys to make these junctions right here. But they did give us, and I'll go ahead and pull these up. I'll pull this one up. It's called a corner roof. There we go. Let's see if I can do it. It's called a wood triangle roof and corner. That's the name of the structure. And it took me a little bit to figure this out. It's just kind of wonky. Okay, so make sure you have it like that, where it's the tiny point part is down and the long piece is at the top. Click that in, and then when you come over here, you'll see that's going to fit perfectly. And that makes that really nice valley. I was so I was so upset there for a minute because I was like, they didn't give us that valley that we get in Fort Castle Keeps and Forts, and that was the main reason I used that mod, because in official at the very beginning you had to have the insides of your house look terrible because you had points and corners all hanging down inside your house. So I am so happy they gave us this piece. That is just really nice. And then I used it also to make these, you see over there how it looks, and then over here it just gives it, instead of the flatness, let me go ahead and get back in fly mode. In creative mode, it's really fun in this game in single player because you just double press space and it helps you just fly up into the air. It's so easy. But see how the overhang just gives it all so much more character, and it just makes the house look so much better. So that's our little house. That is our little hideaway in the woods on Ark Survival Ascended. And I tell you what, I'm having so much fun. Now I get to go on Quan's server now that I finished this up. And I get to do it all again, but oh my gosh, it's going to take me forever. Do you know how much wood is in that house? I'm going to have to get me a beaver or something. And I tell you, his server is hard. We had, I think, 4 alphas or 6 alphas that one day when I went in. And then it's just his ultimate animal level is 300, so much more difficult than my little single player. That is for sure. And no adminning, so I can't go in creative mode. It's going to take a lot, but for now I do appreciate each and every one of you very, very much. Let me know what you think about the house, and if you want the floor plan, it's almost identical to the video that I built my dream house in Ark Survival Evolved, except you don't have to place the half walls. They're already placed for you. Everything else is pretty much the same. And well, the roofs are different because I used Castle Keeps and Forts, but it's almost like building with Castle Keeps and Forts of all things. I love it. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you for doing that and taking the time. See you later.